Time to replace the starter on my 2004 Chevy Silverado. Has a 6.6 liter Duramax engine. It's an LB7 motor. First thing we're going to do is remove the tire. The starter is located just behind the wheel well here, passenger side. So to be safe, chock the back tire with a couple of cinder blocks. Same on the other side. We're going to remove the tire and get started. Truck is safely on jack stands. We're going to get the tire off now. The next thing we have to do is remove this inner fender plastic. Simply removing these little clips and it'll come right out. Now we have access to our starter. It's located right here. Got a 15mm bolt here at the top. Another 15mm bolt down at the bottom, right there. Let's see. There we go. Also have to loosen this exhaust clamp to be able to have space to pull the starter out once we loosen the screw. So we're going to detach that first. That was an absolute bear to get out, but there's my problem. You can certainly see how worn the teeth are on this starter, the gear, compared to the new. That explains the spinning and screaming sound coming from the starter without turning the motor over. So, hopefully, installing this new will be a little bit easier than taking out the old, because the most difficult part was getting the two bolts, the two 15mm bolts, to break free. What I ultimately had to do was use every extension that I had to give enough length, and I had to remove the protective plate underneath the front portion of the car to be able to get my extension with a breaker bar to begin with long enough to have movement to get enough torque to break that lower bolt free. So let's get the new one in and get this job complete. This is what I ended up using to get that lower bolt broken free. I know it looks funny, but this is what I had to do. I had a series of different lengths of extension that ultimately ended up, when you include the end of the 15mm socket to the head of my breaker bar, 29 inches. And that's a, I believe it's a 25-inch breaker bar that I used to get the that lower bolt freed. Once I did that, I was able to remove the breaker bar and use a regular ratchet to get the bolt out the rest of the way on this long series of extensions. So putting the new one back in, not nearly as long, hasn't taken nearly as much time. I'm almost finished. To remove and tighten the upper bolt, I did use this 3/8 swivel adapter to get into that space a little bit easier. Made the job a little quicker. I'm about to use this now to tighten the upper bolt. Alright, we've got the new starter. Two bolts are tightened. Got my two electrical wires connected. Everything is fine here. We just need to put on the plastic fender cover, wheel well cover, tire on, take it off jack stands, we're good to go.